10,000. That's what thousands of Indian fans paid for a dream to see Lionel Messi, the greatest player who ever lived in their country, for the very first time. But what they got instead wasn't a dream. It was a scam. 15 minutes, a wall of 200 security guards, politicians and millionaires blocking their view while they, the ones who paid, were treated like criminals. And then they rioted. What I'm about to show you isn't just about a football event gone wrong. It's about class warfare. It's about how the elite stole a moment from ordinary people and sparked one of the ugliest scenes in exhibition football history. Before I reveal exactly how Messi's team, the organizers, and India's wealthy class orchestrated this betrayal, you need to subscribe to Cyber Boot. Because this story exposes the dark side of modern football, where money talks and fans are just dollar signs. This is the day Messi's dream became a nightmare, and it wasn't his fault. Welcome to Cyber Boot, where we don't just celebrate football, we expose the injustices, the betrayals, and the moments that reveal what this sport has become. December 13th, 2025, Kolkata, India. The Salt Lake Stadium, one of the largest stadiums in the world, was packed with over 60,000 fans. They had come from across the country. Some had traveled for days. Some had saved for months. Why? Because Lionel Messi was coming to India. For a nation of 1.4 billion people, where football is rapidly growing, this was historic. Messi had never played on Indian soil. This wasn't just a match. This was a cultural event. A moment that transcended sport. The ticket prices reflected that significance. Are $5,000 for the cheapest seats, approximately $55 or $60. And worse, $10,000 for better views, approximately $110 or $120. For context, the average monthly salary in India is around $30,000. Many fans spent a third of their monthly income on this single event. And what did they get for their sacrifice? Chaos, betrayal, and 15 minutes of Messi walking around while a wall of security guards, politicians, and corporate sponsors blocked their view. By the end of the night, the stadium was in ruins. Seats were broken, the pitch was invaded, and the dream of seeing Messi in India had turned into a riot. Let me show you exactly how this disaster unfolded, who was responsible, and why it represents everything wrong with modern football's relationship with fans. To understand the betrayal, you first need to understand the dream. In the summer, news spread across India like wildfire. Lionel Messi is visiting India, the event name GOAT India Tour 2025. This wasn't just exciting for football fans. This was a national event. Messi, the World Cup winner, the 8-time Ballon d'Or winner, arguably the greatest footballer in history, was finally coming to India. Indian football has always lived in the shadow of cricket. But in recent years, the sport has exploded in popularity. The Indian Super League is growing. More children are playing football. And Messi? He's a god here. His face is on billboards from Mumbai to Delhi. His jerseys outsell every other player. When tickets went on sale, they sold out in hours. Fans didn't just buy tickets, they made sacrifices. College students pooling their savings together, families skipping vacations to afford tickets, workers taking unpaid leave to travel to Kolkata, fans selling personal belongings to raise the $5,000 to $10,000 needed. One fan, Arjun from Chennai, later told reporters, "I saved for 6 months. I told my wife we couldn't buy new furniture this year because I wanted to see Messi before he retires. She understood. This was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity." The organizers, a company called EMSS, and West Bengal government officials promised a historic spectacle. Promotional materials showed Messi in India, but behind the scenes, there was no contractual guarantee that fans can meet or even see him. The fans didn't know this. They assumed, reasonably, that paying $5,000, $10,000 meant they'd see Messi. Before we continue, I want to hear from you. Have you ever paid for an event that turned out to be a scam? A concert where the artist barely performed? A meet and greet that was a disaster? Drop your story in the comments, because what happened next makes those experiences look minor. December 13th, over 60,000 fans packed into the Salt Lake Stadium. The atmosphere was electric, flags waving, chants echoing, families taking photos. This was IT. And then, the nightmare began. When Messi arrived, something immediately felt wrong. Messi didn't walk onto the pitch alone. He didn't wave to the fans. He didn't acknowledge the banners with his face on them. Instead, he was surrounded by an impenetrable wall of security. Estimates suggest there were nearly 200 people in this security cordon. Private security hired by Miami government security, provided by West Bengal officials, event organizers, and their staff. But here's where it gets insulting. Mixed into this cordon were local politicians posing for photos with Messi corporate sponsors who paid for VIP access, wealthy ticket holders who had bought meet and greet packages. These people, who hadn't paid for regular tickets but had connections or money, formed a human wall between Messi and the 60,000 fans who had sacrificed to see him. From the stands, fans couldn't see Messi. The security cordon was so thick, so impenetrable, that all they saw was a mass of bodies moving slowly around the pitch. One fan, Priya from Kolkata, described it to local news. "I paid Rs $8,000 for a decent seat. But when Messi came out, all I could see was the backs of security guards and politicians taking selfies. I couldn't see him at all. It was like he wasn't even there. The stadium's giant screens, they showed nothing. No close-ups of Messi, no footage of him interacting with the pitch, just wide shots of the security cordon. And then, the ultimate insult, Messi was on the pitch for approximately 15 minutes. He walked around slowly, waved a few times, and then disappeared back into the tunnel. 15 minutes. After fans had paid $5,000, $10,000. After some had traveled for days. After the event had been promoted as a historic moment. The historic moment was Messi in the middle of 200 people, then left entirely. The fans in the stadium realized, with growing horror, that they'd been scammed. This wasn't a historic moment. This was a corporate event, disguised as a historic moment. Here's my question for you. If you paid $100 to see Messi play and he didn't, would you have stayed calm or would you have demanded a refund? Comment below, stay calm or demand refund. Because what happened next was inevitable. After Messi left, the anger had reached a boiling point. It started in one section of the stadium. A group of fans began chanting, "We want Messi! We want Messi!" The chant spread, section by section, stand by stand, until the entire stadium was roaring the same demand. But Messi didn't return. The organizers didn't respond. Security did nothing. And that's when it turned violent. A group of fans jumped the barriers and stormed the pitch. Security tried to stop them, but they were outnumbered. Within minutes, hundreds of fans were on the field. They didn't attack players. They didn't damage the goals. What they did was symbolic. They stood in the center circle, where Messi should have been playing, and refused to leave. It was a protest, a statement. This pitch belongs to us, the fans who paid, not to politicians and corporate sponsors. As security attempted to remove fans from the pitch, the situation escalated. In the stands, furious fans began breaking plastic seats and throwing them onto the field, tearing down advertising boards, confronting security personnel, chanting abuse at the organizers. The stadium descended into chaos. Police were called. Riot control measures were deployed. The stadium was eventually cleared, but the damage was done. Over 100 seats destroyed, multiple fans injured in clashes with security. The historic event became an international embarrassment. Indian news outlets ran headlines like, "Messi's India dream becomes nightmare. Fans riot after being cheated in Kolkata. The day Indian football died." Immediately, everyone pointed fingers. The organizers, EMSS, blamed Messi for not fulfilling their commitment. They claimed Messi was contracted to play, but refused. West Bengal officials blamed the fans for overreacting and criminal behavior. The fans, they blamed everyone, and they were right. But here's the part of this story that goes deeper than a single event. This wasn't just about Messi or one disastrous night in Kolkata. This was about class, about who gets access to football's greatest moments, and about how the sport is being stolen from ordinary fans. Investigations after the riot revealed shocking details about who actually got close to Messi that night. West Bengal politicians who had not purchased tickets, corporate sponsors who paid EMSS for exclusive access, VIP package buyers who paid $50,000, $100,000 for meet and greet privileges. These people, many of whom weren't even football fans, formed that security cordon. They got to see Messi up close, they got photos, they got the experience the regular fans paid for but didn't receive. This isn't unique to India. This is happening everywhere in modern football. Premier League matches where corporate box holders get priority over season ticket holders, Champions League finals where sponsors get 50% of tickets while fans scramble for scraps. Exhibition matches in Asia, Africa and the Americas where stars barely play, but fans pay massive prices. The pattern is the same. Ordinary fans pay, elite fans benefit. And when ordinary fans complain, they're told they're entitled or unrealistic. In India specifically, this hit a deep cultural nerve. India has massive wealth inequality. For a middle-class family to spend raw 10,000 on tickets is a huge sacrifice. Seeing that money essentially funneled to give politicians and millionaires special access felt like exploitation. One sports journalist in Mumbai wrote, "This wasn't just a football disaster, this was a reminder that in India, money and power always win. The common man always loses." And here's the twist. Messi probably didn't know how badly this was handled. He was told the event was a light appearance, not a full match. He was exhausted from travel and a packed Inter-Miami schedule. His team made the decision to limit his exposure, possibly for injury prevention. Messi isn't the villain here. He's the symbol that was exploited by organizers, by sponsors, and by a system that values profit over people. Final question. Before we wrap up, do you think exhibition matches should be banned unless stars are contractually required to play a minimum time? Or is it the fans' responsibility to manage expectations? Comment below. Ban exploitative exhibitions, or fans should know better. So what happened after the Kolkata riot? EMSS, the organizing company, faced massive criticism but no legal consequences. West Bengal officials launched an investigation that went nowhere. Inter-Miami issued a vague apology but admitted no wrongdoing. The fans who were arrested for the pitch invasion, some faced charges. In other words, the people with power faced no consequences. The people without power, the fans who were scammed, were punished for reacting to being scammed. This story isn't just about one night in India. It's about modern football's relationship with ordinary fans. It's about how the sport we love has been hijacked by corporations, politicians, and elites who see fans as customers to be exploited, not communities to be respected. The fans in Kolkata weren't wrong to riot, they were robbed, and their anger was the only language the system understood. Before you go, I need 3 things from you. Subscribe to Cyberboot right now. We expose the injustices, the scams, and the betrayals that mainstream football media ignores. If you believe fans deserve better, this is your channel. Hit that like button if you think the fans in Kolkata were justified in their anger. Your engagement tells YouTube that people care about these stories. Answer those 3 questions in the comments. Have you ever been scammed at a sports event? Should exhibitions be banned? Or should fans just lower expectations? Who was most to blame? Messi, the organizers, or the system? I'm reading every comment. This is your community. Let's hold the powerful accountable together. Release 10,000. That's what it costs to learn that in modern football, dreams are just another product to be sold. And if you're not wealthy, your dream doesn't matter. The fans in Kolkata learned that lesson the hard way. Let's make sure the world doesn't forget. This has been Cyberboot, where we fight for the fans, always. See you in the comments, and see you at the next injustice that needs exposing.